What's up, guys?
Hey, I guess we're streaming.
Guys and girls.
So today we're going to be playing some Medieval. It's a game that a lot of us are very familiar with. I'm Jeff.
I'm Justin.
And we are Digital Eclipse / Color Ocean Emeryville. And so we recently made a remake of this game. And so now we're going to play it here. Probably
Like the original.
the original PS1 version.
Yes.
Technically, this is our game. This is running.
Sure.
After you
Yes.
get 100%.
We unlocked. Yeah, we unlocked the emulation, and
True.
there we go.
So it's not the original game. It's
Yes, this
the
is.
remake's original.
This is the Medieval PS1, and we are the Medieval PS4 team,
Yes.
or 3 members
Yes.
of the team.
Yes.
John's
Gosh.
coming over soon.
Oh, John's coming over, so we'll have one of our designers here soon as well.
Cool.
Alrighty, so let's.
Oh,
get
now we don't know what's
started.
gonna happen.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, the
Oh,
End of the
no.
world.
storyline.
Let's get to the gameplay.
Why is there a spider? Why is there a skeleton?
It's a graveyard. That's what you have in.
That wasn't explained. Okay.
All right.
Cool, cool.
Ah, there's the laugh.
Everyone loves that.
It's a great laugh. So one thing that we did in the remake is we made all of these levels make a little more sense. So you see the cinematic, the way the door was situated, things like that. When we did the Graveyard 1, we changed the door to match the cinematics. So we did a big thing to make the cinematics all match. And stuff.
People have done that too.
Yeah. When we first started, we looking at how we're gonna up-res this thing and make it look good in HD, and we used the cinematics, the original cinematics, as sort of a guide on a lot of stuff.
We also sort of did what we could to stretch out some of the moments a little bit longer, just to give you a little more time in that space.
It has risen
Should work out pretty
again,
good.
Sir Daniel Fortescue. See? The hero of Gallowmere.
I prefer these animations over the ones that we have.
What?
Yeah, I think these have a little bit more
And
life.
the strides of
A little more life.
conspire to turn the
Look,
arrow
look at the flicker in the eye. Look.
savior of the day. But we knows better.
I like how it gives you the option to select your response, but you only have one
Fate
response.
has given
Yeah,
us
well, you can
a
skip. You can
chance.
skip the
Chance to
cinematic.
forget the ignoble
But you have to button prompt through that I'll show you.
But when we did the PS4 version, one of the things I personally when the game really came together is when you added the animation of him up there responding.
Yeah.
Like that
Instead of him just idling there. Yeah.
it's funny, I know that we have analog input, but whenever I play this game, I automatically go through D-pad.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know why that is.
All right, let's look for Mr. Apple. Is he? Oh, he's
I don't
not.
think he's there.
Look at this horrible collision.
Jeez
Just
Louise.
kidding.
Just gonna get stuck on every collision. Welcome, John.
So, and the original, we actually revisited the tutorial here a little bit for the graveyard. It was kind of, huh?
Can you move things around slightly?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, what's up, John?
What's up?
Sit here. Oh.
You want to come squeeze over here? All right, there we go.
So Emily, you need to speak up a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
speak
We
up.
need to use our outdoor voices.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
This is John.
This is John.
John is one of our designers.
Indeed.
He did a lot of levels and did a lot of camera work.
Stuff.
Yeah, he did a lot of camera setup and work, and then we tore all of it out, and then he had to do a whole new thing, a whole new system. So,
Well, it's the when you do design, you're just used to the iterative process of the things you make not ending up in the game. But
Or
no,
ending
yeah.
up in a slapdash kind of different sideways sort of
I
thing.
prefer refined.
Maybe I'm just thinking of animation. I'm just thinking of animation. I guess.
all right, here we go.
Man, look at that UI.
Look at that UI.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, this is the classic early 3D era UI. It's just an image with a number.
And we did have versions on
Yes.
PS4 originally that had this exact same
Yeah.
UI,
It
just
didn't work,
up-res.
though. Yeah.
It just looked really weird in
Yeah.
HD. It works really well in this game.
It was taking up so much space on the screen.
Oh right, there's no. Forget. Okay. There's no toggle.
Well, you have 150 giant gold skull coins. Oh wait, no. That's a sheep.
I was like, what?
My bad. Is the-
Used
is-
to the original
Yeah,
controls
that's
again.
what I was
Oh,
gonna
that's
say.
right.
Yeah. There you go.
I
Feel
am
like
glad
I'm
they
jumping.
did escaping instead of like animating individual, deaths.
We did have the individual deaths to
We
start
almost
with.
did.
Yeah, we almost.
That
It was too much work.
That was a ridiculous amount.
It looked cool, but then also like food and we ended
Yeah.
up like, nah, let's just have the time.
And it became very, very repetitive.
Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't want to do that. So yeah, this level had a little bit of redesign too. I mean, we moved some items around. A lot of those things were this passes that our design director Glenn just went in and kind of moved stuff around for game flow purposes. One of his big philosophies being never encounter a key before you've seen the door.
Ah.
So he kind of went through and made passes to make that a little clearer, so the player felt a little more goal-oriented and not
Sure.
just...
Right.
Like, so you would find the door first, and then you see the
Yeah, so like you see the hand,
Sure.
right?
Like, oh,
And then you
I
go,
can't-
oh, I can't go in, and then you find the key, right?
Yes.
Key to get
And then
in.
you feel like super accomplished.
Like I did something.
Well, you
Yeah.
just
And
feel
then
like
the
you know what
designers
you're
are like,
looking for.
excellent.
Yeah, and then you feel that sense of accomplishment for having found it, other than, otherwise you're just kind of traversing through a level.
Sure.
At least there aren't like a million zombies here. Thanks,
Oh.
Alex.
Yeah. And actually, when we're doing the original camera authoring through levels, there was splines throughout here, whatever.
Yep.
And there's this little trick you can do here, which you can use to figure out what the splines are in the PS1. Watch this.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Little trick here.
Oh yeah, you just hold down.
Just hold down,
Oh yeah.
and he will run along the spline.
Nice.
Yeah, so you will actually be
camera
able to
will-
run all the way to the start of the level if you run just holding down.
Yeah.
Just
that.
Pretty amazing.
so yeah, basically, when they were doing the original Medieval, they had a purely on-rail camera for one implementation of the game.
Yeah.
And then eventually they were like, well, we want it to be more adventure-y, more open world, so they took the camera off the spline, which is fancy word for rail, as we and so the game, as it is now, is a hybrid between those two things, the purely on rails and the free camera. So we actually tried that for probably half of development. We had splines for the camera throughout all the levels.
And it worked, but ultimately I think the biggest problem with it was that it would constantly, it's pretty much the problem that you just saw there, which is that the camera positioning would have an influence over the movement of the character,
Yeah.
which in today's day and age is really no.
Yeah, I mean, these days players just expect that when they set the camera to a view, it stays in that view until they move it again. Which was definitely not the expectation in these early 3D games. People kind of weren't good at managing the camera themselves, so a lot of the solutions were around managing the camera for the player.
It's also a different way of thinking.
Cool.
Ah, yeah.
Thank you.
Who did the statue? Who did the scripting for the statue?
I did.
Oh yeah, you did. Hey, look at that. This is John's level actually.
This is one of my levels, yeah. So,
Oh, I remember this. Okay.
yes.
Yes.
Well, yeah, we actually just had a.
Blueprint.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you did that. It was one of the first things we did.
Yep, I think the Angel Statue was the first thing I made for the whole game. I think I made it on day 1 or 2.
Surprisingly, it was your best work.
Yeah, I know. I led strong.
Never got
Go
it.
downhill from there.
Yeah, exactly.
So the thing I made for the game, first thing I ever made in Unreal was the coffins in Graveyard 2.
They're the same coffins.
Which were changed. They're no longer what I implemented, because what I implemented was horrible, but...
They're pretty it's what's actually funny is your coffins, I used the skeleton, pun intended, of your coffins to
on a lot of things, right?
do
Yeah.
a lot of different things.
Yeah.
The mushroom platforms in Pumpkin Gorge and the Enchanted Earth elevators were originally based off of your blueprint. So when just in game development broadly, it's a lot more convenient to see what stuff has been used already and see if you can modify it.
Yeah.
Use it for another purpose rather than make everything from scratch.
Well, this is before you guys knew you had to make everything from scratch, right?
We knew at that point, yeah.
We knew we had to make the whole game. We just didn't know how much of the stuff we make we could reuse broadly that we had made. And one of the funny things about these old games is they have a lot of variety in them. In fact, in some ways more than a lot of games. They just have a lot of unique ideas that don't get reused. So you end up having to go through and make a lot of custom solutions.
Yeah, a lot of one-off stuff.
It's more modern game design. People tend to reuse and iterate on mechanics, whereas medieval just has a lot of one-off mechanics.
Yeah, I don't think we realized the extent to which that was true when we first started.
I agree. I certainly did not. I made an effort to make things reusable, but
It's
they
so hard to
just
see that.
really did their own thing.
Let's go talk to this guy.
Yeah, what's he gotta say? Tread softly.
Tread softly. Beyond these
Jericho waits beyond these gates. The master meets with the demon from the mausoleum.
I'm so happy you got those sounds in our game.
Lots of
Gargoyle voices.
Yeah. Actually, I think the gargoyle voice is probably my favorite thing in the whole
Yeah.
thing.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
my
they
favorite
did.
guy.
I think we did a good job translating / improving upon their personalities and
Well, your facial animations, I think, they're just great.
Yeah.
They're really good.
I enjoyed doing
I
it.
just
Yeah,
sit
yeah.
back.
Yeah, you get a.
No, it
I
really
just-
solidified.
Yeah,
I was happy with that.
The other thing,
Welcome to the
another
Hall
great
of
moment was the
Heroes,
first time
where the
you guys
bravest
implemented
warriors from
the merchant
history
gargoyle.
spend eternity.
Right, yeah, I was working with Glenn
Yeah.
to get the different interactions,
If they
sort of trying to
can
figure out
prove
what
that
states he would be in
they're able to
and buying
persuade
things and
you
reacting to that stuff.
you
Just having him animated.
I-
is like
yeah.
the best.
I still maintain that the gargoyle eating the gold bag is my favorite animation.
So
in the
much,
whole game.
yeah.
Because I think initially, the concept art had the pile of gold in the tray,
Yeah.
and we're like, oh, that seems weird. Because then players
Never used it.
they can take gold, so maybe we'll get rid of that gold. And I was like, no, but that's good. And then I put it in his mouth, and then figured let's integrate a bag that lands on it, and then he eats the gold, and
Yeah.
that made sense. So
I can definitely tell you were having fun with that concept.
Yeah.
And it works really well.
It was awesome.
And I think the thing I love about it the most is it kind of weirdly makes sense.
Yeah.
There's just all these gargoyles
It
around,
does,
and
yeah.
they have they need food to live
Yeah.
ostensibly.
No,
So,
yeah.
so it's yeah.
Here's something that we had long discussions about.
Oh.
The confirmation menu for picking up
Oh.
items in the Hall of Heroes.
right, because if you said no, then
Not that there's anything
do you
clever about
miss
shooting
out on
someone
the
in the
item,
eye.
or it just sat there?
You wouldn't get it. Yeah.
But then would it just sit there on the ground until you came back and picked it up?
You'd have to come back for it later, I believe. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
So essentially,
You could also, it could spawn the crossbow, and then you could leave without picking it up.
And then
And,
if you come back.
Yeah, we had a bunch of little situations like that we had to deal with. So we just did away with it because we figured there really wasn't a meaningful thing.
Blasphemy! What change in the?
Because they don't really tell you what you're getting anyway. So it's
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
maybe they're just player agency. Give them the choice over getting the item or not.
Yeah.
I think it was a remnant of something that they were planning. Yeah. There was a lot of little bits like that throughout the game, remnants of ideas or thoughts that they wanted to do, but then it was cut back or
Right,
whatever.
right.
So it was kind of surprising. Yes, I'm going to say it.
This map still looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I will say it's not a bad looking map.
If we did a good job with what we did,
Yeah.
a lot of art people touched a lot of art stuff on it.
Are we playing on the emulation?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
This
technically
is-
still our
Yeah,
game.
this technically is a dev kit, so you're going to see these little things up in the corner and stuff like that. What's going on in the background?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I should have had a a version ready to go, everything unlocked.
But then you have to play through the whole game.
You're,
Yeah, and I have to get my save from home and bring it in. I was like, no.
Look at that shield. God. Why didn't we have a shield that was like a weird solid orange color?
Just a giant gold.
Because we have shaders now.
Oh, okay.
And we can make things metal
So,
and things.
even from the shackles of death, my old enemy pursues me. You are too late for rescue. Already my army has risen from the grave. You will never leave.
It's amazing,
this
like how
metropolis.
his design and everything. Like, I don't know, this whole story of this game is just so, I don't know,
Weird.
it's beautiful. Well, no, it's like it's so appealing, and
Yeah.
despite their limitations, it's just really good. Oh, yeah, that's right. We started this way. John set this really nice camera angle up on
Oh, so
the.
you were-
Yeah.
I was like, where are we?
Oh, where are we? Yeah,
What? That's so weird.
so
that-
funny.
Thank you, John.
Start you like that.
I actually have not
Yeah.
played.
We haven't played the original in a bit.
I haven't
Yeah.
played the original
We
in
all
quite
played it
a
a
while.
ton
It's been a
early
minute.
on, but as we went in, we just played it. We played it less and less.
Bill, everything good?
Yeah, so that was one thing we tried to do is try to have an establishing shot for every level.
Yeah.
That was something Glenn and I talked about doing, and I'm glad we really did it because I think it just
It
sells the
looks
level.
good.
Yeah, we get to do things that they couldn't do, like you know.
Well, they could never do that because you just couldn't
No,
render.
I mean that. I mean, there you go.
Sweet.
There's the render distance.
That's a render.
Oh, it's like
I got
part of
it.
some- it's part of a tree.
Lots of tree.
Got it.
Where is it?
But that was, I think, an artistic challenge for the art team.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
yeah.
That black fog that is there
like
because of the render
high.
distance.
Yeah.
You know, it's like figuring out a way to have that same atmosphere in the game without that sort of just like black
Well,
fog.
also when
Yeah,
we're coming up with the artistic idea or artistic scale of this, what is too dark? We want to just look black, you know, we want it to have shade to it, you know.
Yeah.
Well, we also had
Feels right.
we had some issues too because the black fog actually does have gameplay ramifications too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the lake in particular.
Oh,
was,
especially.
yeah, which you're supposed to kind of get lost in the lake a little bit, and the fog plays a big part in that. We had early versions where we didn't have any fog,
Yeah.
and you could see everything from the get-go. It just was a little bizarre. All right. Walking is on triangle. Yes. Okay. All right.
Hot swap your weapons. Ooh. I saw. Do you guys see? Looks like Sony has made some fun medieval gifts.
Oh,
Well, what? It would be fun to see how many.
Well, how many
Yeah,
were there?
man, I don't know off the top of my head, but
Oh god.
but
many what?
Sir
Polygons.
Daniel
How many polygons
Forskew
are
had
there?
very few
Yeah.
amount, comparatively speaking.
How
Very
long?
few.
That's the answer.
Many more. Yeah. At least twice as many. 5 more. 5 more.
Yeah.
Probably.
Just a couple more. Just a couple.
Extra teeth.
One per gen.
Yep.
Dude, look at guys. Look at the texture of the wall. Looks like it's
Fresh air.
Oh, Cybertruck.
Oh, Cybertruck, yeah.
I can't. I don't know.
Inspired by the
inspired by medieval's
the witches
weird,
come in.
I
Yeah.
can't decide if I like that truck or not.
Unholy fires burning all night.
Yeah.
Pretty
It
polarizing.
might
yeah.
be growing on me.
What was the
It's
most
cool that
junk
exists.
food during development?
Oh.
Oh, we had, well, Bill was really good about making sure we had a lot of junk
Yes.
food.
Bill, what do we order the most?
I mean, we have donuts here today.
We
So.
had donuts today. Chips.
Just
Chips. Yeah.
Baked chips though. They weren't exactly all.
Yeah.
We had baked chips.
For a while, I think.
What? How come I didn't?
Oh, we had beef jerky.
Oh, those like single wrap pieces of chocolate. We ate like tons of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, just like stockpile and stuff.
Wasabi peas, like how many pounds of those? I don't know.
Oh, those giant bags of
We
5
still
pounds of
have-
wasabi.
Come on.
peas.
Come on.
Kettle chips.
Come on.
Single wrap
Here's
chocolate's
something
correct.
I think we might have made this a little too sensitive.
What?
Like
Not lighting on fire.
This?
yes. So
Should
in
we-
ours, if you're just like in the vicinity of it, like it's
It's
on
a-
fire.
Yeah.
You know. Like,
That's well. Again, it's should be.
It's a difference, but in this game, it's actually
Because you're like
super
super.
There you go. No, she wasn't alive.
Why not?
She wasn't
In this
alive
one?
then.
Oh, what, in this? Yeah. Yeah, we didn't retcon your cat into this old PS1 game.
No. That would be great though. Oh, the new version, yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she's
in
in
there.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of the cat meshes is, right?
The fluffy cat one, yeah.
Sure.
It's my
She's very
weird,
proud.
Does
my
she,
weird cat.
Does she show up in there one time?
She should just
Or so?
just once.
That makes
During
sense.
the maze level, the
Sure.
labyrinth.
Yeah.
Gardens, yeah.
Sound
Grounds.
Which actually is one of my favorite levels too. I don't know why.
I like that we all have names for different levels that aren't the right level.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where it's like,
maze
Oh sure,
level,
the EE level, right?
EE.
yeah, because we always look at the 2-letter initial that we
Yes.
gave to it.
Yeah.
Enchanter is always EE to me.
Gallows Gauntlet's always the one. I was like, Gallows Gulch.
Hey.
Yo, it's up, Tom.
Yeah,
Well,
Gallows
these
Gulch.
slackers, you guys just ship a game or something?
We're just
Tommy,
no.
wanna join us?
No.
Ship a game.
That's New York.
There's so minus like crystal caves, crystal caverns, crystal cove.
Yeah.
Crystal Cove.
But yeah, adding Mochi to the game was just kind of like, hey, it'd be kind of funny if this was
Yeah.
a thing, and it actually happened.
Yeah.
We did beat cats.
Yeah. There
Yes.
you go.
Both.
You know, I was watching my roommate struggle to get through this.
Yeah.
In our
Same
version,
here.
and I'm realizing now, watching Jeff, that this one was also just hard as hell.
It's like,
like,
looking at the treasure chest. No, don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
You will die.
there is like the cheat of just like
Kind of
wall riding,
Yeah.
you know, to
yeah.
like dodge them.
Yep.
Fail the master. We give our
That's funny. When I was working on the on
They
the
don't.
right when I was working on the info gargoyle animations, the voiceover files that I had included those. They were like listed in there.
Oh, weird.
So I was like, I guess.
Oh, the gargoyle. Yeah.
I guess they say this at some point. I don't know why. I don't know why the voices are double up. That's just a weird audio file. But hey, and then
Sorry, sir.
I was like, nope, that's my bad.
That's before we
It's,
identified all the new.
Yeah.
Hope no one
Gross
minds it.
teeth door. Ugh.
What enhancements playing the game so far? What are some enhancements you've made in the PS4 version for the game?
Nothing. We didn't enhance anything. It's pretty
Everything is
much
a lie.
1-to-1.
back from the battle so soon.
All right, so I think the Hall of Heroes being able to not miss things.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right,
that
that's like
was
a big one.
thing. Yeah.
That's like a ease of life.
Yeah, quality of life.
Quality of life improvements, a lot of those.
Well, one thing we just talked about was the club is much easier to set on fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Switching in between two weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing.
Weapon switching.
Yeah.
Also, talking to gargoyles, like in the original, I remember there was a lot of areas where you're like shoving your character up as far as you could go
Right.
and just like hitting the button.
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
I mean, that stuff is those are kind of all freebies by moving into a
Yeah.
modern
Yeah.
Yeah.
context, but
Every time we saw that, the freebie. Oh, there's no chalices to knock over in the PS1 game.
Yeah, look at this.
Sure, yeah.
There's just one giant chest. Oh, what if you can knock that one over? That'd be sweet.
Can't knock it over.
Jump into it.
yeah, you can't jump over. You can't knock it over. There's no
I-
That was like
I
a very
always knock them over.
like having like the
Oh, yeah.
accumulation of like all the chalices on the table was like a very goofy but like satisfying.
In our game, you can go behind these stairs
That's true.
and then
Really?
spy on the room. Yeah.
Wait, is Mr. Apple back
Oh,
there?
you can like click through the
Oh, is
mesh.
he?
No, he's. I don't think he is back there. You can also move the camera in this room in our game.
Yeah.
Ooh. Take that original game.
Thank you, original.
Also, we added a merchant gargoyle.
Yes.
over that
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
We did add a merchant.
That was
Did this
that was
one
a
ever
late
have one?
addition, huh?
This one never had one. in
Yeah.
there.
So I mean, when we were playing it, there was this constant issue. Well, I had a constant issue.
And me
Okay.
too.
the producer's
Like-
like, you know what would make my life easier?
You're making that good progress, and you're
Yes.
like, "Yeah, I'm doing great."
That
and
makes
then,
sense, though.
Yeah.
Again, like you finish the level, and then you're like, okay, good. Like I'm at a safe point.
Yeah.
I'm in between the first and the next thing, and I need to restock. Like it makes sense to have,
Yeah, you can kind of fill up on things there.
as opposed to being like I have to return to a previous level and run to the merchant gargoyle. So like that, you could do that, but that feels a little more like
Yeah, it was
Working
just.
system.
I mean, I kind of saw the quality of life improvement, like because you can go to some other levels late in the game and then go to an early gargoyle and just get your stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, do we want the player to do that if they, forgot to do?
Was that
something?
like the loop or the game flow? I guess it would.
Here we go.
Whoops.
So another blueprint I did was the little flippy tops here.
Oh, really?
The things flying off as you walk through. That was something I did. And I don't think it ever changed. It shipped with the original, pretty much the original thing that we did. I think they...
It's always really nice when you do something once.
Yeah. hardly ever happens.
Yeah. Right. So it looks like the Akari Warrior, for whoever that is hoping. They say they're hoping the remake leads to an actual sequel. As much as I like the original game, it's been remade 2 times now, and we haven't had a new proper game since Medium 2. And they continue to say, I remember the boss fight of the stage. It was as far as you could go in the demo if you sped run through it.
I mean, I played the second one, and
I did not.
there were a couple of things missing from the second one that I wish it had. I find that so much charm in this game comes from 2 places: the gargoyles
Yeah.
and the Hall of Heroes.
Yeah.
And both of those things are totally absent in the sequel.
So if we make a new game, it's
yeah.
all gargoyles, all Holly Heroes, all the time, right? You're just in a room with a Holly
You
Heroes,
just
and they're on
like
the side of the
there.
wall, and they're just yelling at each other. It's like, that would be fun. I mean,
Yeah, just saying. The second one being more accessible would be nice. Yeah, the second one had...
yes, the second one has the pros and cons.
I do love the
The
Dan
Dan
Hand.
Hand, the Dan
Yes.
Hand is the primo innovation.
It is
It's
the
so good.
best part of that entire game.
Yeah.
It is by far the best thing, and that is something that any sequel would have to probably.
I also still like the idea of pulling his arm off.
Yeah.
That's great. I like the idea of an entire arm.
But being able to put your skull on various things and possess them, best
Super
part
fun.
of that game. By far.
Hey, Frostman.
It's crazy. I'm listening to you guys on the audio from the screen at my desk. While you guys
So we're like 5 seconds, 2 seconds behind.
Yeah,
Well,
probably.
listen for when you said that. Oh, yeah, it's good.
Oh,
There you go.
you want to talk about enhancements we made here too?
Yeah.
So these crystals, in our game, are actually breakable by things other than the club.
Yes.
Yes.
Because in this
Yeah.
original, it was only the club.
It was only the club.
Yeah, and the hammer. I mean, you don't have the hammer at this point in the game.
But you can come back and.
Yeah, you
So
can.
you could. But
So, for the person who did ask, yes, this is the last level in the legendary Pizza Hut demo disc of Medieval.
that's the official title.
Yes.
The legendary.
The legendary Pizza,
Pizza
Hut
Hut.
demo. So yes, this level is as far as you can get in the Pizza Hut.
We're gonna get through this level, no problem.
Are we?
I don't know, maybe.
That floor looks mighty unstable.
Yeah, I don't know about this floor. I'm really worried about it.
Oh man, I'm just gonna grab this green rune over here after I kill this guy. After I kill this guy, I'm gonna grab this green rune, and then we're gonna be on our way.
Yeah.
Just put the controller down.
Yeah.
The game will
There you
read it for you.
What the?
Three exclamation points!
So I actually love the effect and the way they did this bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
really
it looks
dramatic.
great.
It's fun. It looks
So
cool.
they did like a really good job with
It's
this.
a very ownership moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the music's amazing in Medieval. It's super good.
And Bob and Barn.
Bob and Bard.
Also,
Really good
also
job.
amazing human beings.
That's good.
Yes. Good combo.
Yes, I got
The
this.
combo being very talented
Good
and
music.
being really fun and awesome.
Good music, good
I'm actually surprised no one released records.
People are asking.
We do have the PS4.
You got your
game.
sword.
Yeah, you have the
Mother.
which is a considerable download. I don't know the bit rate on that, but it's like 4 or 5 gigs for the soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's an impressive size for a soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, the special edition?
Yeah.
The digital
It's like
deluxe.
4 or 5
Digital
gigs.
Deluxe. Sorry.
And I'm like, wow, these Og Warriors files? What is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, the audio is like 4 or 5 gigs.
Oh.
really
Yeah.
There are parts of Resurrection I actually really like. I think the thing they got wrong, we talked about this a lot, the thing they got wrong was some of the humor.
Yeah.
It felt like. We liked the humor of the original more. Like, we kind of thought of the original as having a more Monty Python, sort of drier humor to it.
Right.
Whereas
Less-
Resurrection's a little more over the top and goofy and sort of cartoony. But
Which is fine. But,
Which is fine, yeah, it's fine in its own right.
It just changes the feel.
It was a big change.
Shouldn't have picked those up. Oh.
I've always appreciated how passionate that Oregon player guy is. He's really
Oh,
just
he's
like,
about to get very passionate.
locked in.
He's like really into it.
I
Really
had to
gonna
listen
stoke
to
the
a lot of
place.
melancholy music to get into the setting. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, the stained glass.
So funny how the band's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you first walk in,
this
it's
is
just
really
like
dark.
I distinctly remember when I played this game the first time. I tried to jump over these.
yeah.
I was like, because I didn't, for some reason, I didn't put the two and two together that you could smash them.
Well, why would you? Like,
And
that's
with the angle,
right?
the angle.
Because if
that
you have
you're
your
doing it.
sword,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, my sword's my default weapon,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Or your arm, that doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I think that was the problem. Like, oh, these aren't breakable, so I'm gonna,
Right.
with this bad camera angle, I'm going to attempt to jump over them and not succeed very
That's
well.
kind of it's kind of a staple of what this game is, of a little bit of exploratory self-discovery.
Also, this part where I ran, and just running around, like, what am I
Wait,
supposed
was that
to...
oh, no, that was
That was close.
yeah.
I mean, that does come off very dark, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very dark there.
Man, I should have done like a custom animation of him slowly running and like jumping.
Favorite
for the-
level.
Favorite level?
Favorite level.
For me, it's just Asylum Grounds. It's like, I love the. I mean, I'm a big fan of the movie Labyrinth. I love this idea of like the puzzler, like getting like, puzzles and solving them for this like cruel overlord. It's very funny. Also, whenever I give this guy the sheet music, I just think in my head,
So happy.
play that fucking music, white boy.
Here goes.
That's good.
Also, that little hint for
So
you.
happy.
Oh my god, devs!
Yes, devs.
Yes.
4 of them.
4 of them.
Word.
I also like lake level. The water element. It's just like
Oh yeah, the water elephant.
Yeah, but like the whole.
It was in so late. We kept being like, "Where's the elephant?" Right?
Yeah,
We need
then-
the elephant.
And then we had an elephant, but we
Yeah.
were busy, and we had to go. We had to get someone to hook it up. And then
Yeah.
Glenn went in one day, and it was like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
And then of course we got a bunch of bugs about the elephant colliding through the,
Oh, God.
the water tube or whatever.
Naturally.
Not my fault. I didn't do it.
Right.
Well, that was Glenn's fault.
It was like I should get the about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was this?
There we go.
Deal. Carrier says DLC petition for 70s Dan outfit with Afro clodhoppers in skin tight high waters.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
Right to your
have
congressman.
if you have money,
Yeah, right to your congressman.
like send us money at blah 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 blah.
Oh, here's
Get $1
another
from your
enhancement.
mom and dad, and then mail
We
it
have
to
a pushing animal.
Oh yeah, you actually have.
Oh, that's
So
right.
yeah, this is the reused block animation. That's right.
Yeah.
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 But I mean, it makes sense. They just didn't have the time to get a good pushing animation, I'm sure. Also, introducing an animation adds a surprising amount of complexity to something like
Yeah.
something interactive like that.
Yeah.
I'd actually, I mean, the two animators probably know best, but I kind of
No.
feel like we struggled the most with animations when they had to do with like direct
Interactive.
player gameplay interaction like
Well,
that.
It's pretty tricky.
With
yeah.
the,
Especially if you just have to do
With
it.
like the push animations, like I think at some point I think I did pushing so you could like push at a 45-degree angle because we didn't really know like how much like with the Return to Graveyard,
Yeah.
like when you're pushing blocks, or like maybe you could kind of push a little bit side to
Okay.
side, but I don't think we ended up using those.
We have a little bit. I mean, he moves a little bit. You can move
Right.
a tiny bit.
But but I think it was like, oh, setting up a blend tree for that, and then we realized we didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
Did you use an item?
Hmm?
Or use an arm right now?
It's just, you know,
Oh, your club. Okay,
So
then.
dark.
Club broke.
Oh, okay, that's just.
Dark.
You gotta go right.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with this TV, honestly. It's so dark.
Change the gamma.
The game's dark, but not quite that dark.
That's how dark it was in our game for a long time.
Okay, yeah, that was like, we like didn't build lighting for like months and months, and then
Yeah.
it was just like, okay, look, the game's not playable if we don't build the lighting, so we gotta get on this.
Yeah, dynamic lighting.
There you go.
Logical Macrochip is asking, how's that Morton level DLC coming along? It's coming along super good.
Hashtag
that was assigned to you.
You were
right?
so anti-Morton.
I was.
You are very anti-Morton.
I
I don't know
am.
why. Justin Morton's great. What are you
Yeah.
talking
I did not want
about?
to
I don't
touch it.
know.
I was like, okay, fine.
I don't know.
I'll animate him in his
It
head.
just seemed
Fine.
it just seemed like far too. I love the Muppets, but it seemed like very out of place to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Morton is a love-hate relationship.
What about?
Did we?
Primal. I played Ghost Hunter.
I have not paid playing with Primal. Probably
I
should.
think there's a good chance I made my dad rent me Primal as a kid at some point, but like I don't really remember.
Looks like candy.
It's so funny, like when you were a kid, because when this game came out, I was not a kid.
Sure, sure.
I was.
97. See, I would have been.
Oh,
Yeah, 24.
Nice.
I was 10.
I son of a-
yeah. Yep. We're babies.
I had graduated high
Learning our
school.
ABCs.
Right,
I don't even know how to code
Oh
yet.
my god. We're just love it.
Add numbers.
Yeah, good at that.
Flashcards.
Amazing. This is pretty brutal.
I got it. I got it under control.
Well, this is actually a boss that was the only change we made in this boss is just running lets you avoid the crystal barrage.
Right.
In this game, just running in a circle doesn't let you avoid it.
Yeah.
But because it's the first boss, like this boss isn't that hard of a boss. You know what I mean? But it's such a big centerpiece for the game.
Yeah.
It's such a big
So,
moment.
so in the original, running from the shards, like, it just catches up with you?
Yeah, it'll just catch up with you in this game.
Is there
Run
any
from
way
the
to avoid
shards.
it?
You can't avoid it without dashing,
Got it. Oh, and
which is you don't have it at this point. So
Well, you know.
you just kind of like get hit. Maybe there's a way, like a secret strat to avoiding it. I couldn't find one.
Yeah.
Machine gun crossbow.
People say they want,
Crossbows, right.
Tommy
yeah,
gun,
people say
right?
they want me to do 2. Remake would be cool, but like seeing an all-new sequel though, that would be neat. Yeah, machine gun crossbow.
Oh, right. It just ends.
This-
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta jump out the window.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's another cool thing we changed in ours.
There
You
you
jump
go.
out the window
Jump out the
because
window.
that like sells the story a little bit better
Yep.
To move on
to move
yeah.
on to the next thing.
Right, right.
Well, we wanted to allow the player to like after they could defeat things, they pick up the thing. If they didn't have the chance to do
Right,
the,
get the organ.
the Phantom, because you pick
Yep.
up the thing, you're like, oh, I picked up the key, great, and then you just
Right,
level ends, and then you have to go back to get the chalice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just play through the whole thing.
Yeah,
again.
it's like, ah. So
We're thinking about you guys.
This is one of my favorite dialogues in the entire game.
That's right.
Bargain hunters should check out the ground floor.
that's where
Well
it's
to
at.
do.
Well-to-do shoppers.
Check out the upper
Yeah,
floor.
there you go.
That's where it's at.
That's where it's at. Thank you,
That's where
Gargoyle.
it's at.
You know this game has missed
Iron. We get good
the alt crossbow fire.
Oh yeah, no, it's to shoot.
Yeah.
even
You can only
faster.
shoot normal. Man, look at that hammer.
Well, stuff like
What's this I hear about that Archcad Zarok still being alive?
Jeff and
Thought you
Arnie.
killed him.
This is Jeff.
How can we convince Sony to make more games like this and Ape Escape?
Better show him what's what, eh?
We,
Well, we can.
We have no power. It's all the fans. It's all you
tweet
guys.
about it.
Tweet about it, yeah.
Make some noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really all it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Buy multiple copies of Medieval.
There you go.
We honestly don't see any
Actually,
money
yeah.
for it.
Yeah,
What, are you guys getting paid?
Ever get to use it?
Huh?
You guys are getting paid?
we have a salary.
I need to go talk to someone.
Nonsense, Fortescue. I won't take no
Jaw.
for an answer.
Yeah.
That's kind of
at that.
dangerous. Struck by a hammer.
Look at that.
That's where it's at, yeah. So, in the PS4 version, this character here,
Looks like
they, yeah.
Yeah.
Norm,
Striking resemblance.
Norm sent a
Mugshot.
picture of me.
Mugshot. No.
Yeah. You sent a picture of me over to the art
There's
team.
Norm.
Yes, I did.
So
Mario. Yeah, that's Jeff in the game. They almost did me in there too, but I was like, no, we'll just have Jeff in there.
Ish, yeah.
I should have complained and been. I wanted to be Canny Tim.
Great.
I should have been like, can I be Canny Tim?
you heard did you read the comic?
No.
No, the revelations about Candy Tim.
I haven't. I haven't read it yet though.
Tim is not short for Timothy.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a revelation there.
Timothy.
Yeah. There are a lot of other
Timothy.
spoilers in the comic too. You should read it.
No, it's not. Timothy's not a name.
My bad.
Oh, I would have been.
It's short for Timberly.
Gosh, who's that?
Norm, if you were going to be a statue, which one were you going to be? The chat wants to know.
Oh, I was gonna be the
Bloodmanaf. Yeah.
Yeah, the axe.
The axe.
The axe guy. Yeah, that would have been me.
Bloodman.
Yeah. Yeah, they almost worked me. I think maybe one concept they worked my face into it, and then I was just like, yeah.
Yeah.
You should have done it. You should have done
And
it.
then yeah, and we put Jeff in there instead.
Right. Get rid of cosplay.
And we have Emily's cat in there too.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
don't want my face in it.
Yeah.
You did. Okay.
Well, here we go. This is
So
turn
now we have the most broken weapon in the game, the hammer.
Yeah. Which
It's insane.
We can just do this.
better in
my
Run around him. Bam.
I would say one of
It's
my
a little worse in our game.
one of my favorite
Really?
yo, I would say like
It's tough. It's so tough in this game to get that.
one of my favorite development stories was the fact that I was like my kid was able to like to play through the this was like the main level that we were like working on at the beginning. So my kid got to play through this Return to Graveyard level a bunch. So it was very amusing when we played the final game that we shipped, and he played through Graveyard. And he was like, his mind was kind of blown because it was like, you were doing it backwards. I was like, no, like this is the Graveyard level. The Return to Graveyard that you are familiar with is actually
The backwards.
the
The
backwards
backwards
version
one.
of it.
Yeah.
So like that was just entertaining
That's awesome.
for him to.
I actually think that's it's really creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually really liked how they did it in the original, how they got an extra level on this level, but the levels feel really different.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
They all have a good.
And they block off.
They were. I actually shared the level asset for a while between the two when we were building it.
Yep.
We eventually had to part them though because there are some differences.
Yep.
But they are meant to line up with one another.
Yeah, in our game, the angel statue isn't. It's the same angel statue mesh, but it's not active. Like it's just a mesh rather than the actual.
So
like,
even if you did like break through to it,
it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Yes. Jeff, what you are using?
Right?
Are you just? Do you have it? Do you have it double or
D-pad to walk. Yeah, you have to double tap
to run?
to D-pad run. Can you use the stick in the emulation?
Yeah,
Yes.
Boom.
Whoa!
Is the Ian strat?
Yeah, I mean, this is the way most. You can't really. This is. Oh,
Ah!
there you go.
my
This is
hand.
not as quite effective in our game because.
Sweet animation I did.
Oh, pretty good.
Woo!
It's pretty good.
It's very slow.
We actually toned down the hammer a bit in
Yeah.
our version.
Yeah, that's a gameplay change. Alex did a lot of the gameplay, like the level monster and weapon balancing, and that was something we talked about a lot. How the hammer was just so overpowering relative
Yeah,
to
it
weapons you
was,
got.
yeah.
until
It was
Magic
definitely
Sword.
a controversial. Ian saying doesn't agree with which part of it, with some. Oh, with maybe the overpoweredness. Soul saying hammer's pretty effective.
I mean, the one thing that
We
we
up the damage on the area effect.
one of the things we wanted to do, we wanted to have every weapon in our game have a different feel. Where I think in this, it's more like each weapon's sort of an upgrade of a
little
prior weapon.
Yeah.
We wanted to like have an option for you to go back. So there actually is a pretty effective way to use the club in our game. I think we slowed down the hammer a lot, and I think
Yeah.
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 Totally.
yeah, we definitely the
Should've
ranged
just, like,
weapons
not
are
this
actually
way.
quite.
Yeah.
They're kind of get out of jail free cards in a way.
It was at one point before I was
Oh yeah. You can fire it so fast.
So part of it is that our lock-on is just more efficient at locking onto enemies than the original Demon's lock-on. So it's just there's a geometry difference in our game. Our area in front of the gate is much bigger.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. Yeah, I think we pushed back the gate.
Yeah.
Pretty
That was,
significantly,
yeah, there's a lot more space there.
Yeah, that's actually one of the few geometry changes we made to the levels.
It was also one of the early.
This was the first level we made.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when
At one point we got really
I started, they're like, this is what we're working on, sign the NDA. And then I came in and I played Return to the Graveyard and it just crashed a bunch and it was like all crazy and it was like, we're working on it. This is where it is. And I'm like, sweet, I'm super pumped. It was really fun.
I remember we were doing playtests, which was like, can we do another level? Because
Oh yeah, everyone's so tired of
looking at
Return to
this
the
one.
Graveyard.
Which means it worked.
Yeah.
Wasn't the audio added into the patch?
I don't know.
I think
I don't remember.
I feel like I saw someone post.
I think of
Posted it.
We had that, but we removed it.
And we cut it.
Because there was a very common issue of people accidentally hitting it and not realizing that they had hit it, and then going, "Why is it broken?"
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, we did remake the remake had the Pumpkin King be less of a pushover. Like the original.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's actually.
That's probably one of the biggest changed bosses.
For better reasons.
Yeah. And the end queen as well. It's really changed. In fact, of the things that are different from the original, the bosses are the main one.
Yeah, Alex did a really good job. Alex is really good.
Yeah, I think for most of them, like, we wanted it to feel like the original, but we wanted it to play a little better.
Probably more like excited, right? Like, you're playing it again, but hey, let's amp it up a little bit more.
And I mentioned this previously, but like a lot of the bosses, like we went into the code, you can see that they were not. They had plans for them.
Yeah, that was like a really key thing that our lead programmer was able to do. Just see the original code and deduce a lot of what the intention, the original intention was for design, and just sort of set up.
When there's like big chunks of code commented out because they couldn't get it in, that's a sign that they had more plans, right?
Oh no!
Damn it!
How do I even do that? Oh, I used the stick. That was the problem. There's your problem right there. What's that?
Yeah.
We're working on a better microphone solution for the streaming setup.
Sweet. That's sweet.
I'm dying in
Right
the
there in the
stupidest place.
corner. You got it.
End of Dan's adventure.
There we go. Yeah, I'm just gonna end it on Graveyard 2. What time is it anyway? Oh, we got 10 minutes. I can stay alive for 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Chalice.
it's ghosty.
No, it's
I'm glad no one harassed it. And the dogs in this game.
I've already confirmed that.
Oh yeah, good. Okay.
We had
Somebody said with the wolf, and I was like,
Don't
you
pet
can't
the
pet
dog.
these. And then they linked
so
me to
Alex, who's one of our designers, was he was like, oh, you shouldn't have them squelch when you hit the dogs. He thought it was really mean and everything.
I thought it sounded neat too.
They're
So-
evil wolfy guys.
And Alex had written up a description for the dogs for the bestiary,
Oh.
Yeah.
and then it went off to Chris Sorrell, and then Chris Sorrell sent it back, and it like totally feeds into this whole thing saying like they're just a little dog family and they love
that's
each
right,
other
that's
and they're
right.
gonna go home.
Yes. They're like,
You know,
yeah.
waiting for their children. And he just like, I laughed so hard
good.
when I got that feedback from him. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, Alex is gonna hate this. And
Super.
he did, but I didn't care. So,
It's funny.
oh, I'm doing really poorly here.
Earlier, someone was saying that if you jump and attack,
Yeah, you can jump over the headless.
and, either jump over them
Yeah.
or maybe just like damage them without getting hurt or something.
Yeah, you can actually just jump over and shoot him from behind. Oh
That's
yes.
sweet push animation. God, that's so slow.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have had ours be a lot slower.
Yeah.
It does give a certain weight to
Yeah.
the stones. Ah! You can also slide
Yeah.
off and so.
You
I
can't
should have
do.
done like a slip animation with him like pushing and like
Just a
stumbling.
randomly, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be so annoyed.
Like an endurance meter cooldown
Yeah.
just for this.
Come on.
Stamina. There you
This
go.
is very long.
Yeah.
Gameplay.
It's
Sorry.
exciting.
This is the rest of the 10 minutes actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just putting push blocks. Ah!
Boom.
Alright, should I...
Thank you.
Is this the right side? I can do the jump through
I have
to...
no idea.
Yes, I think so.
I can just skip past
You
the
can try.
whole other side.
You have one.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
Oh,
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Here we go.
Parkour.
Oh, you landed on it though.
Almost.
Almost made it.
Can you jump the corner? I think you can jump the corner.
You don't need the blocks to
I
finish
think
the
you can
level.
just jump
you
up
need,
from
you need
there.
at least one level.
No, you can jump from there. Right.
You
Oh, that's
read
true.
that block.
Yeah.
I think. Ooh. Careful.
You gotta run though. You gotta book it.
Yeah.
Good.
That's
Easy.
right.
Good job.
That's how you do it.
That's in our game.
That is.
Yeah. It was written up though.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
It got written up and we had
Oh,
That's
that,
like-
we had to-
that you could do that?
Yeah.
Or that you couldn't?
Well, yeah, but we closed it out pretty like.
Yeah, it's the original.
I mean, you know, that's.
I mean, we could have been cheesy and put an invisible wall there until you push the blocks.
All right.
That would have been
That'd
super,
I am
super janky.
literally horrible at this boss battle.
That's cool.
Good luck.
Play.
So,
What?
Killer Manjaro.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I am horrible at this
No,
boss
you're
battle.
good. Just do it. There we go. See? Oh, wait.
No, he hurt me.
Really?
I didn't hurt him.
Boom.
What? Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, you
we got a little bit.
Look, they only have 536.
Oh, I am horrible at this boss battle.
Boom. Whoa, that took a lot.
Yeah, it sure does. Come on.
I also feel like this boss fight, early on, I think we were breaking down to like far too many animations.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was
There's
getting
so
a
many
little,
tiny
it was getting a little
animations
more clunky
Yeah.
and didn't feel as
Well,
fast.
they wanted one where you just like turn around.
Yeah.
I'm horrible.
Yeah.
This is where the digital Eclipse playing games badly comes in.
No, you're good.
You got it.
I've been at 280 for a while here.
No, swing.
All right, 216. All right, tell me what. All right, let's say I can't do it without hurting myself. Oh my god,
Hold on, I forgot this.
I am eating so much.
Hey,
Oh,
hey, hey.
Wow, that
Good job.
sudden.
Do a daring dash.
oh yeah.
Do a daring dash.
Yeah. So daring, so dashing.
Why does the daring dash unlock when you defeat the guardian?
Because
System?
they leap.
Video games.
This way.
They leap. That's why you got the daring dash. Because they dash.
That's true.
Death.
You dash, you dash, you
the
dash.
ability to.
If
It's like a Mega Man thing.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
unexplained.
Wolves are fast.
I really enjoyed this game. As my first time playing Medieval, the remake made me love.
Oh, that's
Nice,
great.
awesome.
Cool,
Glad to
cool,
hear it.
cool.
Yeah, really glad you like it.
Shanks.
Shanks?
Hey, Shanks. Yes.
Are you get through one more level, Jim? 7 minutes?
What's the next one?
Oh,
We'll go
God,
for
help.
Scarecrow Fields.
Scarecrow Fields? I don't think I'm gonna do Scarecrow Fields.
And caves.
Well, the other option is Enchanted Earth.
Okay. You can try.
Scarecrow Fields?
Oh, man.
Try it.
Oh wait, do you have to do?
I mean, you
Yeah.
could.
We could do Enchanted Earth.
You could.
We
Like, I
will
don't know if
not
that-
finish Enchanted
No.
Earth.
No.
We'll finish
The
it.
demon of battle will destroy us. At this level.
Let's try it.
Ian is saying the ant caves is next.
It looks so much better as a skeleton than a human, Sir Dan.
Yes.
Yes.
He looks
Yeah.
better than
He is a hella
There's
frightening
probably
human being.
a reason that they made the main character as a skeleton. They were like,
Yeah.
or maybe they made him as a human first, and then they were like, ew, let's
no.
take all that off.
Yeah.
There we go. That looks good. I don't know.
Looks good as yeah.
Alright.
Oh my god.
Here we go.
I'm just gonna run past the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Run.
Escape. Yeah.
Kick. Yeah.
This is one of my levels. Did people find the Mr. Apple in this one? Anybody in chat find the
Yeah.
Mr. Apple in
Oh,
this
yeah.
Oh yeah, people found that.
level? I know people have, but I haven't even in the chat found it.
People don't count.
People found
I
it.
guess we don't count.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Oh, here.
I can't remember.
So
It's somewhere.
this is one of my favorite things that we discovered in this
Oh,
game.
this is great. Yeah.
So the haystacks. So this is the U.S. version, and here's the haystack, and they come out of there and everything. And we always sat there, we're like, God, you know, it seems like these are spawners, and someone would want to like set them on fire to destroy them.
Yeah.
And then we eventually got a bug from QA, and they're like, you can't burn down the haystacks and destroy them or whatever. And we're like, and we're like, well, you can't do that in the original game, so why would we do it?
But it just
You
makes
know.
sense, I guess.
Yeah, we're like, oh, we're probably not going to do that. And then they're like, well, you could do it in the original game. And they sent us a video,
Oh, jeez.
and we're like, what the?
Yeah.
Yeah. We kept closing the bug. Like,
Wow.
it's not a thing. You can't burn down the haystacks.
That's amazing.
So you
So
cannot
it's
burn
only
the
the US
haystacks.
version?
No, in the U.S. version
In,
you
like, the
cannot,
version.
but in the European version you can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
In the
Okay.
European version, and they were QA testing to compare from the EU emulation, right?
Yeah.
First
See-
Mr. Apple he saw was found on stream. And the guy was really pissed because it didn't do
Yeah.
anything.
Look, sometimes in old video games, sometimes the entertainment and amusement and the feeling of satisfaction came from just playing the game and
Yeah.
exploration and just
That's right,
just
man.
Didn't have to do about like
self-fulfillment.
All right, Gramps. Okay, Boomer.
Wow, okay, boomer.
I'm just like a okay boo or something like that.
Yeah, okay, boo.
Yeah.
Aw.
That
Nice.
sounds good to me.
Okay,
Okay,
bae.
boo.
Okay,
Okay,
babe.
babe.
There we go. Okay, babe. Generation X would be more like, okay, man. Whoa.
So, what emulated version are we playing?
This is the U.S. version.
So you cannot burn down the haystacks.
Yeah.
That's funny.
They will smoke for a little bit.
Why would they be different?
I'm
There,
sure it's just
there was something about it had to do. I think we talked to Chris Sorrell about it. We sent him off a thing, and he had
Ian
mentioned.
says he's not convinced that it was the European version.
Was that?
Oh.
Ian says he's still
not
not sure
convinced.
what version you can.
Maybe
it was
it's,
like
it's European version.
It's European. I think that was pretty.
There's also
pretty
another difference in the European version. The monks and the
Oh right.
the Silent Grounds
Yeah.
were like gardeners.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to. I guess in the U.S. they're like, oh, don't kill monks. I mean, they're zombie monks.
I know.
Zombie anything is killable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are
Yeah.
the rules about zombies.
It's dead.
If it's a zombie, kill it.
Yeah.
Already dead.
Yeah.
You don't feel bad. It's like the thing in The Walking Dead where it's like, that's not your friend anymore. That's a zombie. Like, that's what you always have to remember. It's a zombie. You can kill it.
I still think this is one
But
of
they,
the most
look,
annoying
they
groups
even,
in the whole
they
game.
even give you a club here,
Yes.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So that you can go over here.
Oh, you're like,
Yes.
oh, I should burn it. Yeah.
If I can
I was also watching someone else playing this and using
over here.
the burning
Yeah.
club to
Nope.
There it
So,
goes for a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah, look at it go.
but then it doesn't.
Let it go. And then it just goes out.
Aw.
That's so weird.
Maybe
Yeah, so
maybe
in
this
the-
hay was so
In our version, they explode.
They explode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious, by the way. I'm
You
so
don't
happy
put
that.
dynamite in the haystacks? Yeah.
Yeah, like clearly everyone's just hiding dynamite in the
Yeah.
haystacks in our version so that they
Right.
explode.
Yeah.
That's clearly what's going
Totally
on.
makes sense.
Fire Warrior said, always a rule to go by.
Yeah.
Controversy just making zombies, aliens, or robots.
Yeah,
Yes.
zombies,
That's right,
alien,
yeah.
and robots
And-
are safe.
Yeah.
And green blood. Green blood.
Green blood.
Green blood.
And
Green blood.
We had red blood for a long time in the game. And
We
then
still have some.
we do a little bit, yeah. There are a couple of things that drop red blood.
Yeah.
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 The insane people in the insane
Oh
zone.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, those are human beings, and you're just killing them.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're Xerox
Mentally,
zombies.
They deserved
whatever.
it. They
Yeah.
probably did
Zombies,
bad
there you
things.
go.
I don't know.
They're infected with the
Mental health is
magic.
important, but they probably did something to get in that.
Yeah. Well, I always think that like anytime you kill anything in this game, it's like, Zarek made it evil. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
no.
Is it?
Unless it's like the women and children of Sleeping Village.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
In which case, and I guess the old Mr. Mad,
Mr.
Mrs.
Mad.
Mad,
Yes, definitely.
and Nellie Mad.
Yes. Oh god.
Millie is
Oh
terrifying.
god. Run
Oh
through there.
God.
Yeah, I don't
Run
like,
through a thing. Close the door. Can you
She
close the
scares
door?
me.
Can you close the door?
Yeah, I will say the little girl like and running
Yes.
after you with the axe is a
Yeah.
pretty visceral
Yeah.
thing
Good.
in our
It's
game.
pretty good.
You get him? Oh.
Did you run in and close the door? Or no?
Killing the girls is this level being so much trouble. This is where the difficulty comes.
Oh yeah, this level is,
Oh,
is quite
absolutely.
difficult. Yeah.
This I think this level when I played the original was like this is the level you're like oh crap.
First threat.
And also it's the first bright level,
Yeah.
right? It's the first really like open and bright
Yes.
sort of
That
level.
was just something we had trouble with, which is like, you know, this game takes place in the dark, but you have to like light it in a way so it's not
Yeah.
too much in the daytime.
Because like
so.
there's no daytime because of Zarek's magic,
Right,
right?
right,
Yeah.
right. So we had to like kind of
The Evernight, whatever
The
Yeah.
Evernight, yeah. This also seems like a good name for like
Evernight.
A game studio,
a great Evernight Studios.
Evernight Studios.
A
Oh,
late,
man,
a late,
that's a-
late 90s, early 2000s alternative band.
Yes, the Evernight.
Yeah.
I mean, there was, there's a few bands with similar names
Actually,
to
the
that.
thing we did change is
I think
this
they opened.
one-
I think they opened for Cheese Crimes.
Cheese
So this one, if you
Say
touch the
cheese
cornfields,
crimes?
Yeah.
you immediately die.
If you what?
If you
Cheese
touch the
crimes, they're
cornfields,
great.
you immediately die.
In these?
Yeah.
Basically.
But in ours, you can kind of run around for a few seconds and then.
Yeah, that's.
I think you go in for a second.
Oh, okay, so it's still there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just really fast.
Yeah.
Ours is a little slower because I wanted you to be able to learn that it
Learn
kills
first
you
things,
before
yeah.
it just kills you.
Yeah.
So I gave you a little bit more time. Like we have
Yeah.
the engineer who did a lot of the enemy UI enemy AI.
Yeah.
He gave us like lots of good tunables to play with how the enemies behave. And one of them was how quickly the scarecrow killers like track you,
Yeah.
the cornfield killers.
Yeah.
And then we got that lovely animation of Dan getting eaten by the
Yeah.
corn killers.
I
And
know. Just so he doesn't randomly die without.
can we get a Kolkata before the end of the stream?
A what?
Can we summon the magic dragon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you want to call
Puff the Magic
Calcaterra?
Dragon.
Sure, let's do Calcaterra.
Do it. But first, let's burn that one haystack, but not the rest of the.
Sorry,
That, would've been
that was a
pretty-
weird reaction.
That's great. That would have been pretty great though if we made it so you could just light. If you like
I'm
lit it on
totally
fire
lost.
and it just spread into
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
that was
entire
great.
everything.
All right, so go
That would
right.
have fun.
Right, this way.
Yeah, go right. Yeah. Now go left.
Yeah, so I know where it is over here. Yeah, I got it. I just didn't know where it was in the field.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
like,
produced this
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Another goofy thing that we did. in our
yeah.
game, we
Come on.
added.
Come on, Cal.
I think Glenn set it up so the exploding treasure chests with the skull face on it. I rigged it up in a way, and then
That's
Glenn
right,
set it
yeah.
up so it could track you.
Yes. Yeah.
So like if you next time you go to one of those treasure chests, you can kind of see it, kind of follow you around a little bit.
Yeah. So if you are treasure chest, the skull faces on them look at you,
Yes.
and you can walk around and they'll kind of try to keep looking at you, which is really cute, I think.
Yeah.
Yup.
Get him, Cal. There you go.
Oh, one hit.
Nice.
Is he going that fast
close.
already?
I don't think
Yeah.
The chests?
Maybe. I think so. Yeah.
my favorite part of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, this like brutal obstacle course? Yeah, really fun. Great time.
What kind of farmer?
So
I was figuring, like, what are these machines for?
Yeah.
they're for killing Dan. That's what they're for.
They're killing machines.
So like our team, like Secret Six, did like an amazing job of wow, that just went right through.
Yeah.
Of really
Did I miss
reverse
the- did I miss
engineering.
the-
You missed
Yeah.
your
Yeah, there it is.
exit.
Yeah,
But they did like a lot of reverse engineering to figure out how these machines
how they moved.
would
Yeah.
mechanically like actually work, and they built them out.
Yeah, ours have more gears and metal work
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah.
And you actually hooked those up. You get the gears.
I got some of the gears running and moving around.
I mean, they're
so
still
satisfying when they
they're
all
still
work.
absurdly
Slotted in.
unnecessary,
Yeah,
but
but-
very
But
cool.
beautiful and
Yes.
awesome.
Extreme bread making.
Yes, that was really
Extreme.
So
They make
are we
blood
gonna
with
go
bread.
get Chalice? How much time do we have?
We're not gonna get Chalice because I don't think I can get the.
Just finish this level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So one thing that's different.
Whoa!
Or, or I'll just die.
One thing that's different in this level from the original. So the obstacle course is actually just identical. I tried to really match it, but the crib, the crib spider, the mechanical spider.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the original game, it goes out the barn and then it just disappears.
Yes.
But in our game, you actually see it like crashed in the ditch, and then you have to
Yes.
jump over it to get to the chalice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So,
I actually like that.
and this is something we did too with Dan's
yeah,
Crypt.
jump.
Glenn did this where Dan's Crypt actually feels more like Dan's Crypt now. There's like a statue of him in it,
Yeah,
and
very
his
much
sword
so.
is at the statue, and it's a little bit more like where Dan would like his tomb essentially.
Yes.
And we tried whenever we saw those like sort of inconsistencies, we tried to fix them in
Yeah.
our game.
Yeah, I think we did a good job. A
All right,
decent
is that
job.
it?
Alright.
That's it.
That? Well, thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll talk at you later.
Yeah.
Go buy Medieval if you haven't.
You'll enjoy it.
Digital
Yeah.
clicks, Other Ocean out!
It is worth every dollar. We're out.
Okay, Boomer.